A shocking clue may have just changed everything we thought we knew about the current landscape of Port Charles. For weeks, we have all been watching the impending doom of Willow Kane. We have seen Brooklyn Quartermain ruthlessly plotting to take Willow down, going so far as to enlist Brick to fabricate GPS evidence that places Willow's black SUV right at the scene of Jordan Ashford's tragic hit and run. We have watched Willow panic, beg Harrison Chase for help, and even stage a wildly dramatic fake attack by throwing herself into a shallow fountain just to manipulate the narrative against Tracy Quartermain. From the outside looking in, Willow has appeared totally unhinged, spiraling into villainy, and seemingly destined to be put in handcuffs by Jack Brennan, who has been quietly negotiating with her and gathering a mountain of evidence regarding her recent crimes. Everyone, including us, believed that Willow was about to be locked away for a very long time. But wait, something isn't adding up anymore. A new detail could expose a truth so massive that it completely rewrites the narrative. We may be looking at a situation where the supposed mastermind is actually the ultimate victim. Let us focus on the clue that breaks this entire mystery wide open. The clue is a secret, desperate communication that happens right before the hammer is supposed to fall. Picture this. Brennan has all the fabricated evidence, the GPS data, the proof of Willow's erratic behavior. He has the power to destroy her life with a single phone call to the PCPD. But he hesitates. Why? Because Willow reaches out to him in absolute terrifying desperation. She does not call a lawyer. She does not beg for mercy for her own sake. In a secret meeting that takes place entirely off the grid, Willow breaks down and reveals a chilling reality to Brennan. She confesses that she has been relentlessly threatened and manipulated. And here is the specific detail that changes everything. The threat is directed at her children. Someone has been holding a metaphorical gun to the heads of her kids, forcing her to comply with every single twisted demand, including her bizarre behavior around Tracy and her desperate attempts to secure blackmail material. The clue is the sheer terror in a mother's eyes. This is not the behavior of a cold-blooded criminal. This is the panic of a hostage. If we start connecting the dots here, guys, the picture that emerges is absolutely terrifying. If this detail about her children being threatened is true, it explains so much of Willow's recent, uncharacteristic behavior. It explains why she was so terrified when Felicia Scorpio revealed the plan to help Drew Kane communicate again. Willow wasn't just losing leverage, she was failing a mission given to her by her tormentors. And who are these tormentors? If you ask me, all roads lead directly to the darkest corners of the WSB. We know that Jen Sidwell has been setting a massive revenge trap targeting Sonny Corinthos, Laura Collins, and Lucas Jones. We also know that corrupt WSB director Ross Cullum is running rampant, cornering Carly Spencer at her home and threatening Lulu Spencer at Windermere. What if it is not a coincidence that Sidwell and Cullum are operating at the exact same time? What if they are working together, and Willow is their chosen pawn inside the Quartermain and Corinthos empires? If Sidwell and Cullum are the ones pulling Willow's strings, it makes perfect sense. They needed someone on the inside, someone vulnerable, someone who would do anything to protect her family. They weaponized Willow's love for her children to turn her into their personal operative. This brings us to the big reveal theory, and trust me, this is where things become intensely interesting. The bigger question is, what is the ultimate endgame for Sidwell and Cullum? Why go through all this trouble to manipulate Willow? Our theory is that we are looking at the resurrection of one of the most dangerous secrets in Port Charles history. We believe that Sidwell is preparing to execute a massive underground black market transaction involving the legendary cold fusion technology developed by none other than the late diabolical Cesar Faison. Yes, Faison's ghost is haunting Port Charles once again. This cold fusion tech is a world-ending asset worth billions and highly sought after by rogue states and terrorist organizations. Sidwell has somehow acquired the blueprints or the prototype, and Cullum is using his position as WSB director to provide cover for the sale. But here is the fatal flaw in their plan. Willow found out. During her forced servitude to them, Willow stumbled upon the encrypted files or overheard the wrong conversation. She has become the absolute wild card because she is now the only person outside of their corrupt inner circle who knows the exact time and location of the cold fusion transaction. This realization completely shifts Jack Brennan's strategy. Brennan is a hardened operative, a man who knows how to play the long game. When Willow reveals this to him, he realizes that arresting her for a fabricated hit and run is a massive mistake. If she goes to jail, she will be silenced permanently by Cullum's inside men at the PCPD or Pentonville. Instead, Brennan makes a shocking, high-stakes decision. While everyone in Port Charles is waiting for Willow to be paraded out in handcuffs, Brennan helps her completely vanish. He orchestrates a masterful disappearance, wiping her from the grid and hiding her in a secure location. He isn't covering up for a criminal. He is protecting his star witness. Brennan plans to use Willow's knowledge of the cold fusion deal as the ultimate weapon to tear down Cullum and Sidwell's entire Shadow Empire. He is flipping the script, turning their pawn into the very instrument of their destruction. But if this theory is true, the aftermath in Port Charles is going to be absolutely devastating. Let us talk about the collateral damage, because the people closest to Willow are going to lose their minds. Carly Spencer is already living on a razor's edge. She just watched Valentin Cassadine flee to Geneva. She is terrified for Jocelyn Jacks and Liesl Obrecht, who are trapped in the hostage area at Windermere, and she has Ross Cullum breathing down her neck. When Carly finds out that Brennan, a man she recently visited and confided in, has seemingly helped a criminal like Willow escape justice, her rage will be unmatched. She will view it as the ultimate betrayal. Michael Corinthos will be equally disgusted. Michael recently warned Willow about the dangers of fighting Tracy, and he is coming to terms with his own ruthless Quartermain traits. Seeing his wife seemingly abandon her family to run from the law will break him. He will think she is a coward. And then there is Nina Reeves. Nina has been thoroughly distracted lately, grilling Cassius Faison, whom she believes is Nathan West, about Liesl's disappearance. But when Willow vanishes, Nina's maternal instincts are going to override everything else. While Carly and Michael are blinded by anger, Nina will be the one to look closer. She will start putting the pieces together. Nina will realize that her daughter's recent actions were driven by fear, not malice. In a massive twist, we believe Nina will track down Brennan and demand the truth. When she realizes Brennan is actually protecting Willow, Nina will do something incredible. She will team up with him. This is the moment, guys. This is the mother-daughter healing arc we have been desperately waiting for. Nina will finally get the chance to be the fiercely protective mother she always wanted to be, working alongside Brennan to ensure Willow's safety, while Willow tearfully confesses all the forced mistakes she made. However, the danger is escalating rapidly. Sidwell is not a man who leaves loose ends. When he realizes Willow has vanished and is likely working with Brennan, he will unleash hell. Sidwell will dispatch his deadliest mercenaries to hunt Willow down. They need to silence her, to put a bullet in her before she can testify about the cold fusion transaction. This sets the stage for a heart-stopping climax. Picture Willow, isolated in a safe house, terrified out of her mind as heavily armed hitmen breach the perimeter. She has nowhere left to run. But just as the mercenaries close in for the kill, Michael Corinthos arrives. Michael, who couldn't let it go, who used his own resources to track his missing wife, walks right into the crossfire. In a desperate life-or-death shootout, Michael saves Willow from the assassination attempt. And in that chaotic, terrifying moment, as he looks into Willow's eyes, the truth finally clicks for him. He sees the sheer terror, the exhaustion, the reality that she was a victim all along. He realizes she is not the mastermind Brooklyn painted her to be. This revelation will instantly repair their fractured bond, prompting Michael and Willow to team up, combining the Corinthos power with Brennan's WSB tactics to take the fight directly to Sidwell. We may be looking at the beginning of something huge, a storyline that will fundamentally alter the power dynamics of this town. When the dust finally settles, the climax will be legendary. Imagine Jack Brennan walking into a highly public space, maybe the Metro Court or the PCPD squad room, and dropping undeniable, irrefutable evidence of Cullum and Sidwell's treasonous cold fusion deal right onto the table. The exposure will be absolute. Cullum will be stripped of his power and arrested, and Sidwell's revenge trap will be shattered into a million pieces. Because of her crucial role as the key witness who brought down an international conspiracy, Willow will be granted full immunity from prosecution. The fake hit-and-run charges orchestrated by Brooklyn will evaporate. But make no mistake, the truth could be closer than anyone realizes, and the scars will remain. Even with immunity, Willow will have to face the music. She will have to live with the social fallout of her erratic behavior, the pain she caused her loved ones, and the terrifying reality of how close she came to losing everything. She will embark on a long, difficult journey of redemption, slowly working to rebuild the trust of Michael, Carly, and the rest of her family. Meanwhile, Jack Brennan will emerge from the shadows not as a villain, but as the unexpected savior of Port Charles, the man who risked everything to stop a global catastrophe. Someone may not be ready for what's coming next, because when this secret blows up, nothing will ever be the same again. Keep your eyes wide open, guys, because the real game is just beginning.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.